Hey, this is Jason with Alias Detective Agency. Excuse me. I'm doing a review on the Eonon GA6180F radio. I installed this probably about 4 or 5 days ago. It came with everything I needed. Everything was plug and play. The only thing, I didn't do an install video, and the reason is because I'm not a professional installer, and you would probably hear me use some choice words, and it would be probably an hour long, longer than it should be. But anyway, it wasn't bad at all to put in. The biggest thing is when you mount it, the 4 screws, you need to go as high as you can with the radio and tighten it, because the reveal, it gets a little tight between the thermostat panel and the radio, so you just need to make sure you allow yourself enough room for that. The overall fit and finish, I'm really happy with it. There's a couple little places where the reveal around the edge of the radio is a little uneven, but we're talking, I mean, something that you really got to look forward to see. I think it looks, to me, it looks as good as if not better, as an OEM style radio, a GM radio that comes in the newer trucks now. We could get into the function of it a little bit. The buttons on your steering wheel work good with it. Let's see, I'm gonna do volume up, volume down. Now the only difference is that I've noticed, and you can do stations too, and it goes through the stations. But the only difference I noticed is with my existing radio, when I would hit the mute button here, it would mute the radio. On this one, it brings up your dial pad for your Bluetooth, and just hooking up to your phone. So you can hit that center button and actually, dial a phone number if it's not in your phone book or whatever on your radio pad. So that's something I'm just going to have to get used to. That's definitely by no means any area for concern. It's just seems like it's a different function. Let's see, we'll go back home here. The GPS, you can actually get a card from Eonon that is made for this radio for navigation. I looked at a video of a guy using one. It seemed a little laggy to me. So the radio already came with maps on it. So what I did was I downloaded my area, which would be a good part of North Carolina, on here, and it's pretty responsive. I mean, it works as good, if not a little better, than any GPS I've used in other vehicles. You type in the address, it'll auto complete the address for you because you've downloaded that area, and it's pretty responsive. I was impressed with it once I downloaded my region, or I actually chose a custom area, and I kind of zoomed it out to make it a bigger area. So the navigation works great on it. I actually ran the cord for my nav through the back of the radio, kind of up between the defroster vents on the dash, and I've got it setting right there. And if you look, you can see the wire where it comes out. I got a little piece of Velcro there just to kind of maintain a reveal to keep that wire from rubbing and losing connection. So let me see if I can get my phone to focus here. There we go. Let's see. You can download the hotspot on my phone. It connected right away to it once I put the password in. I think it was like a day or two later. It wouldn't connect, so I did forget network or forget that hotspot, and then I redid it and put my password in again. I actually did that this morning, and I've actually purposefully gotten in my truck whenever I've gotten in my truck today, which has been about 4 or 5 times. I've hit my hotspot, just testing it out to see if it'll auto connect, and it's connecting every time. So it's the hotspot on your phone, as far as it connecting, so you can have access, to the internet through your radio, seems to work pretty good. I'm impressed with it. I obviously downloaded maps. I downloaded, let's see, I got a weather widget on here. I've got YouTube, and then I got some other things for my business. But it's pretty fluid. It's not laggy. There's been a couple times where I've noticed a little lag, but not Nothing to be concerned over. I got a DVD in here if you want to see that. Let's see, we'll go to DVD. Now the DVD works good. It's just a little slow to start. But when you get a radio that is, you know, it does Bluetooth, it does, you know, it's basically like an Android pad with everything in it. Navigation, you know, you can't expect everything to perform at optimal levels, but my kids love Scooby-Doo. But anyway, you can see how it loaded right up to where we left off, and the picture's clear. It's pretty good size screen. I think it's 7 inches. Anytime you hit the home button, it goes back to the home screen. You can still hear the DVD playing. That's not a big deal. If you just want to stop that and you want to go back to the radio, just hit the radio and it'll go back to the radio. And you can actually control your radio through the home screen. You know, you can cut it off or search through channels, frequencies. Let's see, what else? The only con I would say about this radio is it's not XM compatible. So, you know, if XM is something that you definitely have to have, you kind of have one or two options not to get this radio. Or number 2 option would be is to, you know, download like an XM app on the radio and then use your phone's hotspot to access satellite radio. I guess that's up to you as far as, you know, how much data you have and how much you're in your car. So that really wasn't a deal breaker to me because of everything else the radio does. It's I'm an investigator, so a lot of times I have to use my phone for one thing, and my radio now I use it for something else. So it's and I've actually used it a little bit today, you know, with the GPS and things like that, and it's performed great. Matter of fact, I went to Raleigh yesterday, and you know, it performed flawlessly. It's pretty impressive radio for the money. I spent $325 on this radio. If you go in any stereo installation shop, you're probably looking at north of $1,000 to get what you're going to get with this radio. I've had it for a few days now, so I felt like I needed to wait a couple days before I did a review on it, actually use the thing and get used to it. And I'm really pleased with it. For $325, just everything that this radio does is amazing to me. And I will tell you this, you notice how the buttons, I know I'm shaking, so bear with me, but you notice how the buttons are, the illumination, the LEDs are like the blue greenish color. It's the same color as, you know, my Chevrolet, as far as my dash, the buttons on my thermostat, everything matches. So that, to me, that's kind of a big deal, because if I'm going to put a radio in my truck, I want it to match, and I want it to look like it's, you know, GM grade or OE radio, even though it's not. But I want it to look good. If I ever sold the vehicle, to me, that would add curb appeal to anybody that, you know, would buy this or thinking about buying this vehicle. So that's pretty much it. If I didn't cover something in the video, I know I'm not the fastest person talking and I got a southern accent, but if I didn't cover anything in the video, post a comment below. Hopefully my southern accent won't translate into typing, so I'll answer any questions or anything I didn't cover. Just hit me up. And that's pretty much it. That's the Eonon GA6180F, and I installed this on a 2012 Silverado. Take care.